Hello, MAC members. Welcome to MAC's brand new series, Powerful Voices Lasting Impact, for this year's Black History Month. My name is Mya Corbin, MAC's Communications Specialist, and I'll be speaking with the Black professionals in our network all February. We'll discuss topics such as the importance of representation, creating space and tolerance for a more diverse workplace, and learning from our history to move towards a better future. MAC is committed to ongoing learning as we work collectively to disrupt oppressive systems and address systemic racism and the ways they impact our member organizations, our human services sector, and our communities. MAC believes that everyone has the right to well-being, and that's why it's so important that we hear from everyone in our network. Please continue to tune in to Powerful Voices Lasting Impact for this Black History Month with more Black professionals in the Minnesota nonprofit workforce. Today, I'm joined by Kendrick Walton, Policy Entrepreneur Fellow at the Forum, to discuss the topic of what it means to be represented in the nonprofit workforce. Welcome, Kendrick. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me, Maya. I really appreciate it. Glad to be here.
Absolutely. I'm so glad that you're joining us for this. This is going to be awesome. So just getting into it, could you briefly share a little bit about your journey and your personal experience as you've moved through various roles and grown in your career as a Black professional?
Yeah, absolutely. So to start out, my name's Kendrick. I use he, him pronouns. I am, Policy Entrepreneur Fellow at the African American Leadership Forum in my current role. In previous roles, I was an educator in Minneapolis Public Schools. I've been a debate coach, a speech coach in multiple states, but especially here in the Metro. And then from my time working in education, I worked as a restorative justice specialist and practitioner for a small community nonprofit. And then from there have joined the Forum in their Entrepreneur Fellowship program. And so, that's kind of like been my journey. I think that the way that my identity kind of shapes this journey is one, just like as a Black educator, a Black male educator, there aren't many of us in the field, especially in the state of Minnesota. And then, as a debate coach, similarly, there aren't many Black debate coaches, period, in the state. So being able to give back through my own lived experiences and, serve in an educator role has really meant a lot to me as I navigate through this space. And I bring a lot of that, I think, to the Forum as an educator, specifically focused on restorative justice and education policy. I think it's important that our students see policies that reflect the experiences that they have. So, that's just a little bit about my journey.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like it's so important to take into account lived experience when we're coming into these roles, because a lot of that is really what connects people to the communities that they're serving. So that just makes complete and total sense.
Absolutely.
You think as a Black professional and especially Black women, they're really a fundamental force in our nonprofit sector. In your opinion, what do you think is to be gained if we start seeing better representation in leadership positions with Black women?
Absolutely. That's a great question, Maya. I appreciate you asking this. One, I would say that the Black professional community, and especially like Black women in the nonprofit sector, should be highlighted. I think, especially during Black History Month, we want to uplift and platform those that traditionally and systemically haven't been platformed in the past. And also just like, it's been a great Black History Month, just 3 days in. Shout out to the folks that won at the Grammys last night. That was really, really cool to see Doechii and Beyonce. I just had to throw my little shout out there. But in terms of Black professionals and Black women in the nonprofit sector, I think there's a lot to be gained in representation in these leadership positions. Just like personally, I've grown so much from having Black leaders over at the Forum, but specifically Black women leaders. Really want to shout out the folks over at the Forum that are doing great work and have offered me advice and mentorship as I've gone through my own professional journey. But, large or to speak to the larger case, I believe that Black women in leadership really can offer like diverse perspectives and solutions. We know that there's this attack on diversity, equity, and inclusion with this current administration. And so being able to highlight and platform Black women truly sends, I think, a powerful message within the nonprofit industry. And then, on top of this, I think it, especially here in Minnesota, improves community trust. The goal of nonprofits, or one of the goals of nonprofits, is to really serve the community and serve as that bridge, right? And I think that having Black folks, and especially Black women, in these roles increases the trust between community and these organizations that are saying that they're doing work on behalf of the community, right? And so when folks have that lived experience that reflects out the work that they're doing, I think that it continues to build trust and close that gap. So, great question.
Absolutely. That's so correct. So beyond correct. Like, I really resonate with all of those words. And I really wish we could like talk about this for like a full hour sometime,
Oh
like
yeah,
these
we
types.
could spend days.
Yeah, there's so much to unpack when talking about this, but I really do appreciate you for going in depth with answering that question and like giving a perspective on the Black women in our sector, because we don't always hear from them. And I really appreciate you for that. But I will say, unfortunately, that's all the time we have. Be sure to listen in on the series so you don't miss any of our insightful Black leaders and professionals in our sector. All of these short podcasts will be available on our social media, Podbean, and our website, so stay tuned. And make sure you do something that makes you feel joy today, and happy Black History Month. See you.